Shit. Fuck. There we go. Hi, everyone, and welcome to TWF Friday Night Smackdown. I, Michael Cole, with Renee Young, and with Corey Graves. And today on Friday Night Smackdown, we're going, we're going to see, we're going to see, well, we got Father Yule here today on Friday Night Smackdown, and we might have another good match here today on Friday Night Smackdown, Michael Cole says. Oh, that's right, Michael Cole, we do got a good match, here today on Friday Night Smackdown. We're going to see Father Yule here today on Friday Night Smackdown. We've been seeing him, all through the 11th month, going into the 12th month, at least for Western Christendom. I don't really think we'll be doing it for Eastern Christendom, Renee Young says. Yeah, the only unlikenesses between Western and Eastern Christendom is that they never fully took on the day book that the Western Christendom took on. So their Yule always happens in the first month instead of the 12th month, But at the end of the day, it is what it is. But we are going to see Father Yule here today on Friday Night Smackdown. So let's go to it. Corey Graves says. Here we go. Ho, ho, ho. Happy Yule. It is I, Santa Claus, or also known as Father Yule to, many other folks here. And, I just want to say that between the 11th month and the 12th month, I am busy in Western Christendom giving out gifts for Yule for all the Western Christendom folks. And then I'm busy again in the first month, because then I got to get out gifts for everybody in Eastern Christendom, for all the Christendom folks over there who do Yule in the first month instead of the 11th month. But anyway, I just want to say that, that I'm true, fuck. But I just want to say how, I just want to, say, how happy I am to keep the happiness and glee of Yule alive. Which we all know Yule has nothing to do with me, and it never did. Even though some folks will scathe me and say that I have nothing to do with Yule, and yes, they'd be right. That Yule is about onlooking the birth of Jesus, and a lot of folks over the years like to scathe me for all kinds of things, like, knowing when children are awake and when they're asleep. That's all I know. That's all God and Jesus let me know, is someone's awake, that's it. Or someone's asleep, that's it. That's as far as it goes. I don't know anything else beyond those things. And also the scathing of me breaking into houses or walking into houses to put out the gifts. Now, I know a lot of folks are like, oh, well, God and Jesus gave me this might so I can go down smokestacks and through firesteads and up through firesteads and through smokestacks again. Or if the smokestack leads to a heater and not a firestead, then I gotta go through the lead door and out the lead door. And if I got that might, then they're like, why do I have to even fly to all the land bodies and drop off all the gifts at all the houses then? owned and rented and whatever the grounds may be. I don't know, because I'm still man-like at the end of the day. And a lot of folks like to also skate me for knowing who's good and who's bad. Well, once again, God and Jesus just tell me deeds. Like, they just say, alright, like, they just give me a list of names and what good or bad deed they did. I'm not the one that makes the call. Like, I'm not the one that says, oh, well, they're bad, or, oh, well, they're good. No, God and Jesus make that call, and I just go, alright. And I don't doom anyone. God and Jesus are the only ones that can forgive and doom anyone for anything they say or do. And I don't give out Blackstone anymore. You know, there's a lot of illnesses and sicknesses one can get from even breathing in Blackstone dust or even digging Blackstone, which is, yeah, it's still a thing, a dying business, but it's still a thing. I give out the least wanted gift. So if someone has been bad, or at least, then I might, like, would say they wanted the Apple I speaker with Apple iOS. Well, instead, it might be, I don't know, the Motorola or the Samsung or the LG or, you know, with Google Android or something like that. You know, or might give them like the least thing they wanted, not the first thing or the to-do thing on their wish list. I don't give out Blackstone anymore. And a ass and a rear clown like you. You know, there have been many Santa Clauses over the years, and most of them were done in WWE. And we all know that WWE and OVW and AEW are going to offshoot you again. I think the NWA and TNA might not do it. MLW, GCW might not do it. But I know that either you're blowing everyone's time. Chris Jericho, I know that you have been a bad boy for most of your life. You know, well, not all your life, but I know you've been a heel for most of your time. I mean, I know that you've been a heel for your whole run in AEW. Alright? And I know that before that, you had your 2 runs in WWF, WWE, then your ECW and OCW runs, your SMW run before that, your AAA run, your NJPW run. And I know that you misbehaved. So if you're thinking you're going to get the Y speaker with Apple iOS on it, think again. You're going to get the one with Google Android on it. Are you kidding me? I'm the one that has to go out and buy my children gifts. Me and my wife do that every year, not you. You know? But we got to keep the little thing going. Oh yeah, what's that? Grayson Waller says. Call this the learning tree. Or whatever you want to call it. And it's 2 of us. And we're going to beat you up. So you need, Grayson Waller says, you need to shift the I. You need to shift that Y speaker from having Google Android to Apple iOS. I don't have to do anything. And you're going to threaten to beat me up? Wow, now you see why you're not... Yeah. Oh yeah, this is sad. Threatening to beat me up. How low do you folks go when you got to beat up Santa Claus? Beating up me, Father Yule. Now this is crazy, Michael Cole says. This is where Chris Jericho and Grayson Waller have stepped over the row. They're threatening to beat up Father Yule. Michael Cole said, yeah, Renee Young said, over a Y speaker. Because it's going to have Google Android instead of Apple iOS. Renee Young said, how sad. Corey Graves says, you know how more folks want Apple things than they want Google things. I mean, everybody wants the Apple I speaker with Apple iOS instead of Motorola, LG, or Samsung, with Google Android on it. You're not going to be beat, Corey Graves says. So I back up Grayson Waller and Chris Jericho. There's Wonder Woman now. So you're up to your bullshit again, Chris Jericho. Only this time it's not good enough and you got Grayson Waller being one of your underlings now. And if you think that I'm going to let you beat up on Santa Claus or Father Yule or whatever anyone wants to call him, you take that again. And I guess shit has not been settled between the two of us. No, I guess not. So the way I look at it, Santa Claus, Father Yule, I know you're not really a wrestler, but wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be so cool if you teamed up with me, to take on Chris Jericho and Grayson Waller? I would be on, look, Wonder Woman. Alright. Alright, John Bradshaw Lakefield says. We're not going to play shit. It's not going to be Chris Jericho and Grayson Waller beat up on Father Yule. If Father Yule wants to team up with Wonder Woman, then I say by all means it's happening. Wonder Woman, Father Yule, Santa Claus take on Chris Jericho and Grayson Waller here today on Friday Night Smackdown. And we'll be starting to put the two Living Saga teams together for the Living Sagas this year. Well, looks like the match is going to be underway. Meaning, Santa Claus, like we say, we're not truly a wrestler, but he has at least won the TWF 24/7 winnings. He has at least won the TWF 24/7 winnings once. He at least won the WWE the WWE 24/7 winnings once. And Grayson Waller right now, going out, coming back in, hit Wonder Woman with a stunner. And he thinks that will be enough to beat Wonder Woman. Think again, Michael Cole says. 1, 2, and Wonder Woman just, kicked out. It's not enough. Renee Young says, Corey Graves just took the upper hand on wakefulness, knocking Wonder Woman over, Renee Young says. And I don't have anything to say, for folks that want to beat up on Father Yule, Renee Young says. That's his whole grounds for being in skilled wrestling, is to get beat up by some heel wrestler or wrestlers. The catastrophe kick, Corey Graves says. That's sad, Michael Cole says. That's not Father Yule's only ground for being in the skilled wrestling business, is to get beat up by some heel wrestler or wrestlers, Michael Cole says. Catastrophe kick. Wonder Woman cutter. Round Street, Michael Cole says. Would this be enough? 1, 2, and Chris Jericho just broke it up. Well, Renee Young says Grayson Waller right now is hoping is bringing Chris Jericho now, Renee Young says, and Grayson Waller hopes that he can go tag him in. And Chris Jericho, is having a bind. And Santa Claus comes up, and I think he wanted to tap Wonder Woman on the shoulder to say, you can do this. And shit, that means he's been tagged in by mistake. Oh no. Oh no, Michael Cole said. Father Yule's going to have to wrestle now. This is sad, Renee Young says. We all know Father Yule, Santa Claus, is no wrestler, no fighter, no overstar of any kind. Hey, you get in the ring, you tap someone on the shoulder, and the Fight Lord says that it's lawful, you're in a match now. And how is Father Yule going to fight Chris Jericho? This is so unfair. You know, and Wonder Woman has to tag him out before something bad will happen. Chris Jericho, hit the ring steeple. Grayson Waller tripped on a rope after Santa Claus. And Santa Claus just brings back in Wonder Woman back in the ring now. Here comes catastrophe kick. The Wonder Woman cutter. Brown Street. Oh, we missed out, Corey Graves says. I truly wanted to see Father Yule get beat up by Chris Jericho or Grayson Waller. Well, that's shame on you, Renee Young said, for wanting to see that to happen. Yeah, Michael Cole says, why would you wish harm on Father Yule for? You didn't get what you wanted for Yule last year or this year coming up? 1, 2, 3. Ding ding. Here is your winners. Here is your winners. Wonder Woman and Santa Claus, or Father Yule. And it looks like Grayson Waller and Chris Jericho did not get the upper hand that they wanted. They didn't get the win over Santa Claus that they were hoping for, Michael Cole says. No, they did not, Renee Young says. And thank God that didn't happen, because it would have been sad to see what Chris Jericho and Grayson Waller would have done to Father Yule. It's sad, Corey Graves says, like I tell you, Michael and Renee. That is the only grounds for Father Yule being in skilled wrestling, is to get beat up by some heel wrestler. Well, Michael Cole says, I can't believe you would wish harm on Father Yule, or think that's his only ground for being in skilled wrestling. Well, alright, now we're going to take it away now to Gene Okerlund. Alright, thank you, Michael Cole and Renee Young. I'm going to be talking with the two folks you wouldn't think would be teaming up, or had teamed up. That being Santa Claus and Wonder Woman. What brought you two together? Well, Gene Okerlund, as you know, I have a war with Chris Jericho. I'm still warring with Chris Jericho. I thought things would have been settled last month, but I guess not. Chris Jericho and Grayson Waller wanted to beat up on Father Yule because they were getting a Y speaker with Google Android instead of with Apple iOS. And there's no grounds to be beating up on Father Yule or Santa Claus or Holy Fellow Nicholas or whatever you want to call him. So that's why I took it upon myself to team up with him to take on Grayson Waller and Chris Jericho and the whole bullshit learning tree. Well, Father Yule, we know you are no newcomer to skilled wrestling. You've been in every skilled wrestling business over the years. And we all know that you are no wrestler or no fighter, but somehow you became the WWE 24/7 fighter. Well, Gene Okerlund, it's true. I am no wrestler, no fighter or overstar, and I won the WWE 24/7 winnings out of luck by beating Kara Suzawa before losing it back to R-Truth. But then again, I also won the TWF 24/7 winnings once too. But I'm no wrestler, I'm no fighter, and I don't know what would have happened if Wonder Woman, Diana Alderling, didn't have my back. And you could say what you want to say, about how Chris Jericho and Grayson Waller, about how, heel wrestlers always beat up on Father Yule. Yeah, that need be true. But thank God I didn't have to get beat up or had to fight alone. Well, thank goodness that didn't happen, Father Yule, or who knows what would have happened. And Wonder Woman, do you see yourself still having a war with Chris Jericho and his learning tree? If Chris Jericho wants to have the learning tree and he wants to have Chris Jericho, Grayson Waller, Austin Aries, Austin Theory, he can go right ahead and have all those bullshit followers. If he wants to dig out Jack Flagger, he can have Jack Flagger with him too. I don't really truly care. All I know is that I got one creep from the settled land, one creep from the sovereign land, who, are bullies, and I will not stand for that at all. Alright, that's my talk with Father Yule, Santa Claus, Wonder Woman. Back to you, Michael Cole and Renee Young. Well, thank you, Gene Okerlund, for talking. Thank you, Gene Okerlund, for talking with Father Yule, Santa Claus, and Wonder Woman here today on Friday Night Smackdown. And that's all the time we got it for Friday Night Smackdown. I, Michael Cole, with Renee Young and Corey Graves, we hope you like Friday Night Smackdown, and we'll see you tomorrow for Rampage or Ram Through.